find out a little quick background, man. So, how long have you been in junk removal?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit just over 4 years. So we started it officially in 2021. That's when everything really kind of took from there.
So now, before junk removal, I'm hearing that you were involved in furniture, the
Yeah.
furniture business you had. Kind of tell us little details about that.
Yeah, so I didn't own the business. I just worked at a furniture store, a big furniture company out here. So like I started in the warehouse, worked my way up into being like a sales manager. And then once COVID started, everything got flipped upside down. I lost my job, so I was just kind of I'm not letting this happen again. So I'm just gonna do my own thing. It started just a bunch of different things, but furniture, I just learned it for a decade. So I just know the ins and outs of it. And then so it's very easy for me to translate it, train it, to tell people how to hold it and maneuver it. And it just really translates really well because everybody has furniture.
This is true. I
Yeah.
want to do a quick shout out to the guys in the chat. We got my man Drew, the moderator, in the house. We got my man Andrew. He's a new junk hauler, just getting in the industry, couple months up. What's up, Andrew? How you doing? Then we got an OG, my man Cisco. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Junk on, junk off. How you doing, bro?
Guys.
We got my man Todd in the house. He's another North Cal guy. What's up, Todd? My man Tom Diaz. Welcome, guys. Welcome. If you guys have any questions for Dan or Sarah, please put them in the chat. We'll make sure to get by to those. So, Dan, so we hear that you were in furniture for 10 years. You had a background in that. So we get up to COVID and all, and, things just got flipped up from there. So kind of give me an idea, like, so how did junk removal come on the table? Like, were you following anybody on YouTube, or did one of your friends get involved in it?
I didn't start like looking into anything social media of junk removal until like last year. Everything was just kind of just figuring it out. So it started with like essentially four or five side hustles. I originally thought it was gonna be handyman service. So fixing things or like fabricating things. I really liked doing things with my hands. So I thought that was gonna be the base of it. And then, but on top of it, I wasn't making enough money, so I had to do other things. So, junk removal was in there. I was like, doing Toro. I was renting cars. I was doing like Santa projects, haunted houses, different things that's making me money. But after a year of doing it all, I was like, all right, I have to pick one, and then I'm going to put all my energy into this one. Which one has the most potential? And at that time, I only had one furniture store that I was really like talking to and doing my donuts with. And That was bringing me a couple of jobs a week. And it was just one store, and we had 50 stores in the area. So I just gradually started just dipping into that. And then on top of it, marketing and advertising and social media and so forth. And then here we are 4 years later.
I have a
Wow.
question. So, how long in
Yeah.
between you working for the furniture store did you start doing junk removal?
A year.
So, you,
Within a year, so like, I got laid off right when COVID started, like lockdowns, I'm gone. And then it's maybe August when I start really like, like, all right, what am I going to do with myself? And then from there, 2021 is when I started the business name and like, started rolling with that and then just started, pursuing and pursuing. But I didn't start doing the like Dance Holloway fully until like 2023. So that was when I was just like, all right, it's not just like, that I'm doing it. It's like I'm all in everything and just pushing it and pounding the pavement and really taking it to the next level. And it just really kind of grew from there. And I just want to keep that momentum going.
right.
Well, I think it's great that Sarah, you're the co-host on this, because I remember when I first got into junk removal, I remember you saying, I think it was on one of the shows that you were on. It might have been the Junk Family, and I think you guys had a background with selling couches and all, and you were kind of doing that before you guys got into junk removal. So,
Yeah.
do you guys kind of see like you guys got something in common denominator? Kind of tell us about your background and all with that.
So, we started our junk removal journey a year ago. We started last April. And
Hmm.
prior to junk removal, my husband and I were actually selling used couches. So, I always say, like, I kind of manifested junk removal because before us starting, I would message people on Facebook who were selling their couch, and I would say, "Hey, I have a junk removal company, and we often pick up couches in donatable condition for free." So
Mhm.
they would say, "Okay, well, we'll let you know if it doesn't sell." So they would end up messaging us and saying, "Hey, you could come pick up our couch." So
Yeah.
essentially, they were selling it for like $600 to $800, and they would just give it to us, and then we would relist it and post it, and we would end up selling it and making money off of it. So
Yeah.
we were doing that for 2 years prior to starting junk removal, and I was like, well, what's better than getting free couches is getting paid to take the couches. So my husband came up with the idea of junk removal. We started watching Matt and JoJo, and then we just ended up biting the bullet and starting Load Runners Junk Removal.
Now, question here.
Yeah.
So, do you primarily focus on the junk removal now, or are you still reselling things? Like, what's the dynamic there?
So we do both. So we do primarily focus on junk removal, but we
Mhm.
do get a lot of really good furniture from it. So some will resell, but we also work with like organizations like battered women's homes and homeless shelters too. So a lot of
Yeah.
times we'll just donate it to them because they need it more than we do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. And like that the resale aspect is something that I've been playing with for gosh, so at least a year. I've been just tinkering and trying different things to see what works best. But
Yeah.
ultimately what it all leads back to is me selling it. That's essentially what it all leads back to. But I try to do things at such like I try to do it as like the highest level I possibly can. I did the whole like, individual thing. I tried auction houses. I tried like garage sale style, like, everybody come on a Saturday. I tried fix and flippers where they'll like pick through my stuff and then they'll take what they want and they'll pay me a discounted rate. But like, oh, and like I donate to like donation centers, but ultimately everybody else is making all this money off this stuff that's is just getting out into the ether, which is great. I'm happy to provide that. But how do I make this me? So I'm trying to figure out the resale. Like, how do I, open up a shop or a warehouse and then start pushing this and then make it better and better?
So we focus now primarily on junk removal. So we actually have a storage unit where we keep our couches and other items that we get. We mostly couches because we know that they move fast. So
Hmm.
couches are the easiest thing for us to get rid of. We've done like dining tables and beds and all of that, but we'd rather just honestly just donate it because I don't want things sitting around and taking up space when I know a couch is going to go much faster.
Hmm.
So we usually we'll just repost it on like Marketplace or OfferUp or any of those, in sometimes Instagram or other free social media platforms to try to get rid of them. But to
Hmm.
be honest, right now our junk removal business is growing like month over month, and we're honestly considering shutting down like the couch resale altogether because
Hmm.
right now we really just don't have time for it.
Yep. That
So, what made you connect with the furniture? I know you had the background and everything, but did you see like a niche or something with like the furniture companies? Like they needed somebody like a junk removal service, and that's what made you think, boom, boom,
yeah.
boom.
It was talked about in the company, within the company when I was there, that like, man, there should be somebody that we can refer out because essentially what the company refers out, it's corporate America, so it's like Goodwill and like they recommend that because it's like a big national company. But like when it comes to small guys, they don't really operate like that. They just like want to operate with a big one or, something that is reliable,
You
right?
got to explain because I'm lost. What are you actually doing with them now? It's like tell us the whole game with furniture and how does it tie in with junk removal and all that. Like what's the whole game plan?
Yeah, yeah. So, like, what I was explaining was working there, I heard about it.
Okay.
So, and then when it came, presented itself when I was doing junk removal, one salesperson, that was one of my rock star guys, he calls me and he says, "Hey, you want to pick up furniture for my customers?" And that's how the first store started. And then he always told me, "Hey, make sure to keep on coming back because they forget." And I'm just like, okay. And then eventually created a system where I touch each furniture store twice or once every 2 months. So it's six
But
times a year.
explain what goes on now. Why a furniture store? So people come in,
Yeah.
they're buying new furniture or whatever. So
Mhm.
now the furniture company there, are they paying for you to remove it, or is it just clients that are coming to them that just got new furniture are
Yeah,
paying?
so it is strictly the clients that are coming in to buy furniture. Now, I want you to think about this, right? So everybody that you walk into a furniture store, like you, okay, Sarah and Paul, all right, you're walking into a furniture store and you're looking at a sofa. You want to buy that sofa, but you already have a sofa. Where does that sofa go? Everybody has that same thing. It's very, very rare when it's like I'm buying a complete new house compared to I already have this furniture that's broken or the color's outdated or whatever. So we come in as a referral from these from the salespeople. I come in with the bagels and the donuts, and that feeds a bunch of people. And essentially, it just reminds them of me constantly. But I keep on coming back year after year, so I've built a really good reputation with that.
But this is my question because I know, like with the mattress stores and like hot tub, they offer from the store free pickup. So, like if you go and get a new hot tub, they'll get rid of the old one. If you
Mhm.
get a new refrigerator, they'll get rid of the old refrigerator. So
Yeah.
it's not the same with the furniture.
Well, I want you to think of the volume of things, okay? So this how much furniture is being sold constantly compared to like if you want something in your home, you're probably maybe within 5 years you're going to be buying some sort of piece of furniture, right? Transitioning something or buying something new. How often do you buy a hot tub? Once every 20 years, once ever, like same thing with realtors. How many times do you buy a house? Or how much does that realtor sell? How many houses a month? Those referrals are less and few and far between. So you need to make more and more connections. Whereas furniture stores, that's like there's 50 stores and there's, constant turnaround of new and new furniture. And there's 3 million people here in Denver. So new, constant, rotating, go.